Clothing manufacturer Seardel Investment Holdings has announced that it is selling its clothing business to textile union Sactwu. Joining us now to explain more about the deal is company chief executive Stuart Queen. Stuart, the sale of your manufacturing plants to a union, that's a rather unusual transaction, so why do it?
Hi, sorry, thanks, and thanks for having me on. Because I guess just to maybe take you back a little bit, is that this has been a sort of troubled spot in our business for a number of years, and been quite a significant loss maker for us. And the decision was made that we couldn't, as commercial shareholders, actually hold on to this division any longer. And so we made a decision to actually we had made a decision to close the facilities down. And the union, being the South African Clothing and Textile Workers Union, has in an effort to save the production capacity and the jobs, the local jobs, has provided the funding for a transaction to take place. So it's not necessarily that the union will operate the business going forward, but they are the parties who have come forward with the rescue money to actually save it.
That's a fabulous story, Stuart, that the people they're prepared to put their necks on the line then.
Yeah, I think that Sactwu is a very progressive union in that way. You know, if one goes back through the history of Seardel, right from the start, in 2008, when it was very close to liquidation as a holding company, it was the union itself who actually put in a lot of the capital that got Seardel through that period. So they put in over 200 million rand into the business at that time as well. So they've been very progressive in the industry, and I think it is a very positive step by them.
They've also done terribly well with the management of the funds in the Sactwu Investment Trust. Johnny Copeland, who's gone on to other things, I guess, if you think about the HCI operations, has been quite an inspiration, quite an amazing businessman.
Yes, absolutely. An amazing businessman, as you say, and an intellectual giant, I think, of the business world.
So what's happened now, or what's left in Seardel, and just unpack for us what Seardel and Hoskins are going to be doing together?
Well, Hoskins took over Seardel in 2008 on the rights issue. So it was the union that supplied the funding, and HCI took about a 72% stake in Seardel at that point. And over the last 5 years, we've been working with the Seardel business, trying to turn around the businesses that we thought could be saved. And apparel is certainly one we've given a lot of time and a lot of effort into trying to save. And at the same time, trying to find other avenues of revenue growth for the business, because I think it's understood that most of the clothing and textile businesses were mature assets and didn't have great growth prospects. So we've been trying to do two things. One, save as much of that capacity as we could, and two, find other areas which we have in terms of trying to find more in the branded product space. And then very recently, we have just, HCI, as part of an intergroup restructuring, has moved its Seardel asset, its shareholding in Seardel, into the Seardel group. So the Seardel business, now the listed entity Seardel, now owns HCI's stake of ETV through its holding company Seardel.
So if you want to have a play at ETV, and of course the new television channel, OpenView, Seardel is the route in.
Yes, exactly. I think that the media, you know, one of the rationales for that was to give shareholders a more direct access into the media. Obviously, in Seardel's books, the media asset is probably the overwhelming asset and overwhelms the rest of them. So it is a very direct route into the media. Whereas in HCI's books, it was really maybe in the shadows of some of the casino holdings.
Stuart, thank you so much for your